Hello. It's
Hi.
a Halloweeny Sunday here on Commercial Drive here at Butter Kings, and I am joined with the lovely Ashley, my partner in crime with my calendars that I've been doing for the last 3 years. So we just finished our third calendar. We're really excited. We were
Yeah.
early. We were
So
prepared.
on it this
We were
year.
so on it this year. I'm so happy.
Because normally when we do the calendar, it's like a frantic mid-December photo shoot with a big rush to get them
Oh
printed before
God.
January.
We do what we have to do to make it work. But you know what? This year we were so on it. I'm so proud of us.
Me too.
So I got all dressed up for you guys for my Halloween show. I hope you guys all have awesome plans. If you haven't already partied this weekend down for Halloween, I hope you guys have something cool planned for Tuesday. Because, Halloween is my favorite. October's my favorite month. Yay. So excited. So yeah, welcome to the show. I'm glad you're watching. Let's talk about this calendar. Look at this.
It's a gooder this
It's
year.
awesome. I'm not going to show you any of the photos because if you want to see them, you have to buy it. That's the rule here at Butter Kings too. Because last year, I was letting people look at a few of the photos and then they were just looking at it and putting it back. And I was like, you know what?
Support
You just
us.
saw the calendar for free.
Yeah.
That's so not cool.
Support your local artists.
Support your local artist. Support the Kush Queen. Get your calendar for 2018. They make great Christmas presents, good presents, great calendars.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. I'm really really happy. So they're available here at 2137 Commercial Drive, Butter King store. They are also available on the CCHQ website and working on getting them also on the Seed Bank's website. So thanks,
nice.
Rebecca. Shout out to the Seed Bank, Vancouver Seed Bank. They are going to put my calendar on their website as well. So I'm super, super stoked. Yay. Do we have a lighter? It's one thing that I
it's the
don't
one
have on the
thing
table.
We
So
don't
we can
have.
smoke.
We'll trade ya.
Yay. Stevie time. So Ashley, how have you been?
I've been good.
Have you been enjoying doing this calendar with me?
I have. This year was, I think, one of the funnest years to date. There's another model as well as the two of us.
That's
in the
right.
calendar.
Shout outs to Carly Marley.
Carly Marley.
Yes.
And are we allowed to say what the context of the calendar is?
Yeah, I think people know from
Right.
some of the behind of the scenes
Yeah,
stuff.
there's a lot of behind the scenes
yeah.
we were showing. So we did it with a bunch of really cool classic cars, some custom lowriders, some really sweet bikes. So
Yeah.
all the images are super cool. We had tons of fun shooting, so much fun, which is important because they're long days. And
It's
if
true.
you're not having fun, you're having a bad time.
And shooting with more than one person is really, really
So
difficult. I don't
hard.
know if you have ever shot with someone, if you're a photographer or if you're a model, but when you add someone else to the equation, it becomes
Changes
like
everything.
1,000 times harder. It's really, really hard to get both people looking absolutely perfect in the shot.
Or three.
Or three. And then you also have to make sure the lighting is right because now you have like this much space being taken up instead of this much space. So it's a lot of hard work and dedication. And I just want to say a big thank you to Ashley, to Carly, and to Jamie, the photographer of the calendar.
Jamie Edgar.
Jamie Edgar, yeah, you guys all did so well. I'm so happy we got this done. Now we're just gonna pump them out, try to promote them as much as we can. I want you guys to buy the calendars.
I mean, how else are we gonna keep her in adorable army outfits if you guys don't buy
I know.
calendars?
I would wear this even if it wasn't for Halloween.
Right?
Just so you know. So over at my lovely bud cam here, I've got some awesome cannabis going on here. So I've got some Blue Dream, and I've got some. What was the other kind?
Ooh.
Oh, it's escaping me brains.
Blue Dream. Everett.
What was it? Oh, Tri-City OG.
Yes, that was
I just
it.
had to smell it, and I was like, oh, that's what it is. So yeah, come here, baby. We got Bentley in the house, little baby bear. What are you doing? Come on. He's a little camera shy today.
Yeah.
And here I have some violators smoking up.
Nice.
So I'm super
I am
excited.
also rolling a violator.
It's really, really nice. I'm really enjoying the effects that I'm getting from this. It's not a pure indica, but it acts like a pure indica for me. It's so perfect.
Nice.
Like it has that equal amount of indica to sativa for me because I find like if it's just heavy pure indica, like I can make it through my day. I can still do everything, but I'm definitely a lot more just feeling a little bit like, okay, I could totally go to sleep right now because my body wants to go to sleep right now. So with the Violator, I feel all pain relief, and it's that heavy indica I need for all my back pains and all that stuff.
Nice.
But then my brain's still up
Alert.
and alert, and I can get shit done. So I really,
Nice.
really like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been really liking the hybrids lately
Mm.
myself because I'm same as you. I was always such a heavy indica girl, but
I was pure indica. I was pure Kushes before. It's why I named myself Kush Queen, because it's all I smoked. It's all that worked for me. It's all that would affect me the way I needed it to affect me. Everything else gave me a little bit of anxiety, or I just wouldn't get stoned. Like I was just like, I felt like I just had to keep smoking it. Like, fuck, nothing's doing the job. But as I became more involved in the cannabis community and I started meeting a lot of different growers and meeting people who were growing things that knew what they were talking about and like knew the actual strain and what why it would complement me to smoke it, I started learning a lot more about these strains and I was like, oh my God, so there are some sativas that they can still affect me like an indica. Like it's beneficial for me, you know? So it's like, I like it. It's really, really good. Anyways, so today I have a pre-recorded interview with Jodie Emery prepared for you guys. So
Nice.
thank God we have gotten some of her conditions changed, and she has been allowed to come into the media side of things for her headquarters. So she was able to go to the Pot TV studios, and I was able to get a recorded interview with her, which made me so happy because since I've been doing my show, unfortunately, I haven't been able to get her for an interview, and she is one of the most inspiring women that is in my life at the moment, especially since she represents everything that I am trying to represent and that I am an activist for every single day of my life. So she's a huge inspiration to me. And yeah, I was really, really stoked to get an interview with her. It was nice to sit down half an hour, just talk and spend time. It's not often that you can sit with Jodie and actually get to spend more than 20 minutes, half an hour with her. Not because she doesn't have time for you, but because she's literally so busy, or
She's
she
a
can't
busy
be where
lady,
you're
yeah.
working, or this or that. So, or she's not around, she's in Toronto, whatever the situation is. So I just feel blessed that I was able to get an interview with her. So me and Ashley, we're going to sit here. We're going to get fucking baked.
Oh yeah.
And we're just going to let you guys watch that interview. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. And we'll see you when you guys get back from this trip to memory lane. Just kidding. Hi everyone, it's Kush Queen here, and I am finally being joined by the absolutely beautiful and so talented Jodie Emery.
Aww.
How are you, beautiful?
I'm so happy to be back in the Pot TV studio and sitting here with you doing this show.
Isn't it awesome?
Thank you for having me on, because it's been quite a while since I've been around, and
I know,
I don't
we
think I've
miss
ever even
you.
sat down with just you either. It's been like
Never.
on the Under the Influence or C
Right?
Desk show, but like, yeah, here we are, Ladies' Day.
It's all right. Ready, Betties?
There we
Let's
go.
do it. I love
Awesome.
it. So you've been gone. You've been kind of doing a lot of stuff out in Toronto.
Yes.
Life's been really hectic for you.
Oh, what a year it's been. What a 6 or 7 months it's been.
Right?
Yeah, it's been pretty wild. I guess technically I've been living in Toronto for the last while, because when we got arrested in March, part of my bail conditions were to reside in Toronto at the apartment that we've rented there. So
Right.
Marc and I were kind of like forced to stay in Toronto and not even leave the province at first. We weren't even allowed to come out.
I
Except
know.
I got permission to come here because I have a rental here. I've still got my cat and my job and all that. So they gave me permission. And then recently we went to court, like we do every month, it seems.
I was
and
going to
then
say that's
it's
a very
tedious.
ongoing thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that was again March. I think it's 7 months ago, coming up on 8 months ago, and we finally got our conditions changed to let us travel in Canada. So now at least Marc can come out to BC too, and he's coming out here very soon as well. So
Yay,
this is
good.
good. There's a little progress, but
Yeah.
definitely different being away from Vancouver. I've been here since
Right.
2004, and my whole family and life and world.
Well, and like you
is
said, you have a
here.
home here.
Yeah.
Your job is here. Everything is here.
I know, it's
crazy.
being taken away from all that was very strange and upsetting, of course. But I have to roll with all the challenges in life, and so
And you do it
yeah.
so gracefully.
Yeah, I tried my best. Oh, there's a giant smoke ring. Look at the smoke ring you put up there, Alyssa. Wow.
She's good,
Sorry,
isn't she?
I'm also a distracted stoner.
So let's start at the beginning, I guess, just for any viewers who aren't aware of the sort of dramatic and traumatic experiences that you and Marc have been going through due to the opening of your stores out in Ontario, Toronto, and Ottawa, I believe. So it started in March.
Right. Well, last year, we decided to use our brand, Cannabis Culture, as a well-known name, but we weren't really a successful business because Marc had been in prison all that time. We'd been struggling and competing with all these different variables. So we finally decided to venture into dispensaries, but with a recreational approach where we said, you don't just have to be a patient, you can be anybody who wants to use cannabis. So it's adult use cannabis sales openly, like
Which good
legalization.
for you, by the way, because that's hard to find. And you guys you started that here in the city, and a lot of people have followed your guys' ways, and I really, really like that because I know from working in dispensaries for the last, I don't even know off the top of my head how many years.
Super pro.
It's so hard sometimes for people to get into the certain dispensaries, especially the really, really uptight ones that are trying to really follow the rules and be very like strict. It's so hard for them to get their cannabis
for
and their
access.
Yeah, and you know, and I'm not saying it's bad to be buying from the black market, but you don't know what you're getting. And for some certain people, they were really wanting to be able to pick out a strain and have people there telling them what they're buying. So I really want to say thank you from someone who's been running a dispensary for the last over 7 years of my life.
Well, you're the one actually like serving the patients on the front line, so thank you for doing that and like seeing their stories and everything.
So many more people,
and it's great that all these lives are being saved, literally. And so but a lot of it was about how dispensaries had to try and be strict and very exclusive and limited to try and not get raided and arrested. And so cannabis culture, I mean, Marc Emery's always been all out there, especially since we've done a lounge here since 2006. So we've got 11 years plus on this lounge market. We thought retail sales
which is famous
would fit in
worldwide.
Yeah, and we thought this would be a great opportunity. So Toronto, we had the opportunity to open up out there 2 places with a franchise owner. So because Cannabis Culture didn't have the money, but we have the brand, we needed to find people who had money to start a business, but needed a brand. And if they really wanted to be part of our activist movement, they knew that joining Cannabis Culture meant that we'd be spending that money to give back through activism, because we've always been an activism business. From our lounge, our head shop, everything we have has always been putting towards the cause. So with dispensaries, we thought that would be a great way to help push the movement and do what Marc did with seed money, and raise all that funding from people who support us. And that's why every time our shops opened, we had lineups down the block. In Montreal, which lasted only one day at like a number of locations. What a wild scene last December. But whenever we did it, the response was so good because we were doing what people want and what they deserve and the way it should be. But with that, like they say that the first line of soldiers get the bullets and then everybody else can gain ground after that. But so, we take some shots and it was serious. So the Toronto police were very upset about all the stores opening there. And part of our activism was always, like Marc Emery said, when you get shut down with a raid, you open again the next day. You show them you're not going to stop. And so we would always do that. Every time the police raided, we would go out and reopen and make a bold statement and hold a press conference. And in the eyes of the cops, we would humiliate the police and point out how ridiculous the law was that they were enforcing. But they don't like being embarrassed. Cops don't want to be embarrassed.
They hate it.
Yeah,
they don't want to be filmed.
No.
They don't want to. Yeah.
So we got arrested in March. It was a big, giant campaign called Project Gator, and they raided the Toronto shops. Ottawa police did a raid, even though they claimed it wasn't part of the same project. They were doing it themselves. And I think it was all, it happened at the same time. So, and then you had raids even here in Vancouver, in this building. The police came into this building, not because it's a dispensary, because it's not, but because it's our headquarters. So they just came for information and everything. So computers and all that. So that was a major hit. And Marc and I were arrested in getting out of an Uber at the airport in the evening because we were on our way to Cannabis. We'd been invited to go speak there. So we were on our way over there and they stopped us and arrested us. And that night was at the police station. So it was like really no fun. And getting strip searched for the first time is a very degrading, weird experience. And I'm really
So that's
furious.
the night that you had to
Like, this is the
basically
first
go
time,
through.
right? Like, yeah, the first. So I was like, okay, well, Aaron Goodwin, a fellow activist, and others have been through this. I can handle this. I'm tough. Whatever. Screw them. So, but like, first you're handcuffed for a long time. It's just very degrading in every which way, and it's very slow and uncomfortable. And then they take you to a room to get strip searched, and like take off your top, and then you can take off, and then put your top back on, and then take off your bottom and squat and cough, and you're like in a little cell. So the way, like, what I want to describe to people, politicians and cops and all these pro-arrest cannabis people, the ones who endorse the war on drugs, I'm like, imagine your daughter or your son or even your mom or your dad being taken by strangers who have guns into an underground windowless cell of concrete with steel bars, and these strangers order you to remove your clothing and you cannot say no. Imagine that happening to someone you care about. It's twisted, but that's what this is. And many reports have said these strip searches are unconstitutional because they're all innocent people until proven guilty. But they take you and they make you go through that. So that was shitty, but I was like, whatever, I'm tough. Now I'm all tough and I got my stripes, right? I've been strip searched, yay. But trying to be optimistic about it, I guess. I don't know. But we went to court that day. It was very long. They wouldn't let us call our lawyers. There was it's a lot of bullshit. And then when we finally went into court the next morning, we saw our lawyer. He said, I'm really sorry to tell you guys, but I can't get you out today because they've arrested more people. And Marc and I are in like the prisoner's box in this packed courtroom, and we're like, what? Who did they arrest? And they had arrested Chris and Aaron in the courthouse that day because they had come to support us with all the other activists and media, and the courtroom was packed. And apparently right before we came up, the cops went in and arrested Chris and Aaron, and the media all ran after them and filmed that. And then Brittany got arrested, so they've arrested 5 of us. And then it was like, you're now going to remand, and that's maximum security prison where they send everybody, innocent and not. Like, everybody goes there because that's where you get held until you have trial or until you get out on bail. And that is a scary, not fun, no good place. So and that was what was even more degrading there, was I was like, okay, I've already been strip searched, I get it. And so when they told me I had to go and get strip searched again, and I'm like, okay. So I'm standing there, and the lady's there.
But you've been in you've been in custody,
I've been in their custody
the entire
time. The whole time.
And now you're going to another facility run by them, still haven't left their
They've already seen it, yeah.
And they need to strip search
and
you
then
again,
get this.
degrade you even more.
And get this. I'm even being all like, okay, fine. I know how it goes, top first and then the bottom, right? And she goes, nope, all of it at once.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like, but it was only top and bottom before. And she's like, this is different. And I was like, oh my God, now I have to stand completely naked in front of somebody. You don't even get to like half and half.
Yeah.
Right? So it was like, this is... Anyways, that was one of the many terrible things. And there's some interviews I did afterwards. If you want to go look up Jodie Emery arrest on Google, you'll find lots of media. So I talk about a lot. But it was really upsetting. It was really more upsetting to see it happening to a lot of other people who were completely abandoned and alone in the world. And I knew because I was talking to them. And whereas I knew, like, oh, I've got like international media and people, all my friends and family and supporters, I'm going to be okay. But a lot of people here are going through this horrible ordeal, and they don't have anybody to fight for them. They don't have any bail money. They're not getting out. They're going to sit there in maximum. And anyway, so it was a really terrible experience, but really eye-opening. And I think it was actually very valuable for me because I've been talking about the injustice of arresting people for pot for a very long time. But, I never walked the walk. So it was kind of like I was talking about shit I didn't actually understand, but now I do. And there's not to say that you have to get arrested to really be legitimate as an advocate against arresting people. But it sure opened my eyes and inspired me anew. But also, of course, like they intend, it scared me. I don't want to go back. I'm not going to break the rules. I'm not going back to jail. I don't want to. The whole point of our legalization activism is to stop people from going to jail. So I really don't...
That's what makes me so sad, is that so
terrible.
many people go through this. And a lot of people, like you were saying, don't have people who love them, or
can't afford a lawyer,
can't afford a lawyer, or they don't have anything. And now these people who have just wanted to smoke cannabis are being strip searched and now are being taken away from, so they have zero freedom, and they just sit in this cell.
And that was the weirdest thing about it, is that, like,
till their sentence is over, whatever they felt was
They're powerless. They feel
It's just
powerless. And that's what
crazy to
this
me.
arrest does. I mean, we've all been kids with parents telling us what we can or can't do. We've all had teachers. Like, there's an authority. We've always dealt with authorities in our life. But there's nothing like being trapped with people and you can't say no. Like, that kept ringing through my head because after, like, months later, I even asked my lawyer, I'm like, hey, when I got arrested and they wanted to strip search me, could I have said no? Could I have said, no, I don't consent to that? And he said, no, you're in there. You have to do what they say. And I thought that's like a very twisted feeling to actually go like, wow, I was physically detained. Like, that was against my will. And we hear so much as women. We hear all the time about consent and our bodies and our privacy and how you can say no and all this and that. And I'm like, these strangers with guns are forcing me, taking away my right to consent. It's twisted because of cannabis. It's like, it's...
And speaking
whoa,
of twisted in
mind-blowing.
cannabis, how is it okay that you are being given the same treatment that someone who has raped someone or someone who's taken someone else's life, you're getting the exact
Equated,
same treatment.
right?
Your same treatment.
Violent criminals
because you've
and
smoked
cannabis
a plant.
people.
You are now being treated like
This is still happening and it's still going to happen. So that's what's exhausting about the last year is seeing that the government, at every level, the federal government, provincial and local, they're all looking for more law enforcement money, more cracking down, more criminalization, tougher new laws. And I'm just shocked how twisted the government did this to us, like the way they took legalization and turned it into something else entirely. So I'm afraid to say a lot more people are getting arrested, though.
I know that's sad to say, but it doesn't surprise me. I was so excited when Trudeau got in. I got so excited. I was like, man, this is going to happen when I'm alive.
We all felt it.
This is going to happen. And then it just got taken away so quick. And now I'm like, how could I be fooled?
And now we're all still criminals in the eye of the law.
Yeah.
So that means we still have a lot of activism work to do because people are being fed a lot of misinformation right now about pot. Like the reefer madness bullshit is out there stronger than ever. So it's up to people like us to educate people about the truth of cannabis. You know, they keep trying to say it's dangerous and bad for your health. And the fact is it's safe and good for your health. So it's the absolute opposite of the messaging that people are being fed by the government through advertising and everything right now. We have to fight back with the cannabis truth so hard right now. Just share information, go to events, write letters. It's more important than ever because everybody's looking at pot and talking about it more than ever. And we need to make sure the truth is heard above all the bullshit.
Well, and you've got a lot of people trying to monopolize off of it as well. So we have to make sure that we are shining brighter than these people. And, you know, there's snakes. They are snakes in the grass. There are people just everywhere just trying to just get
take
in on,
over,
just take over and like,
they want to cut everyone out.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's so sad seeing some people trying to get into the cannabis industry and wanting to exclude others, and not just like any others, but those who suffered and sacrificed to make it possible. Like that's the
from small scales to large scales.
yeah.
Like
We should all be allowed to
it's
participate.
just crazy. Absolutely, but you need to. If you're going to participate in being an activist for cannabis, you need to at least really believe with all of your heart that this is medicine, that this is right. You can't do it for any other reason because you want to be on the news or because you want to do this or you want to make a business out of it.
Saving lives.
It's about like saving your life and saving other people's lives, and every single day seeing that like twinkle in someone's eye when they walk away with having smoked a joint or about to go smoke a joint, and they know that they're going to get so much relief. And it's like, if you don't feel like that, then you shouldn't be involved.
Everybody
in the
who's against
community.
dispensaries needs to go work at one and spend a shift and shadow at like a dispensary because the
I've
number
been working at a dispensary for years, and I tell you, I wouldn't give it up for anything.
and a lot of government officials really don't get it. They honestly visualize a dispensary as a shady storefront run by opportunistic, greedy people who are just trying to sell dangerous pot to anybody and everybody with no regard for safety. We've been hearing this bullshit narrative for so long now, and then when you actually go to a dispensary, and like Marijuana Man said, where 6 people in the last week alone have been like, "You're saving my life," and we talked about how nobody bullshits about saving lives. Like, you never go up to a stranger. You don't go to your coffee barista or your restaurateur or anybody really, maybe yoga teachers. There might be people who like have helped others, but the number of times that a human being will actually thank you for saving their life is very limited, because saving lives is hard to do, but cannabis access is saving lives, and those who provide it are saving lives, and those who have their lives saved know it, and they know it, and they say it because it's true. They're not bullshitting. They're not like, oh yeah, I got nice and high, you're saving my life. It's like, no, I stopped using all my medication after 40 years and I never thought it would happen. You saved my life. That kind of shit. That's real. I'm off opioids. You saved my life. I used to be an alcoholic. I use this. You saved my life. Like, people say this because it's true.
It's what happens.
And the government and the police don't understand it, or they do understand it, and they're evil, evil people and want us to keep suffering for something that saves lives. Like, I really hope it's just ignorance and not evil. But man, maybe it's a mix of the two, because like, it's really, I don't understand why we still have to keep fighting.
I try to wrap my head around it. I always try to wrap my head around it. Why cannabis? Why have you chosen cannabis?
Hate it so much?
Why do you hate it so much?
Like, what the?
Like,
We've never
especially
seen
seeing what it
such
does
a
it for
war.
people, you would think that those people would be like, well, let's give it a try. Okay, yay, cannabis.
Right?
It's like,
or even
why?
the fact that you can compare it to anything else in society, and this hypocrites in government and police and doctors saying, oh, it might not be good for your health. We don't know yet, but we need to find out how it's dangerous.
Why does the world not want to be happy?
What? Like, yeah, this is, and it's proven to be better for you than the stuff they promote. They're not declaring war on booze and everything else that actually hurt people. Yeah.
There's so
Anyway,
much hate and deceit and just greed in the world, and I don't understand. Cannabis brings love, and I don't understand why the world doesn't want to be like.
Well,
love
that's maybe
and
why they don't
happiness.
like it. Like, agents of hate and darkness don't like things that are love and goodness. So, but I also have to keep thinking that, as the medicinal properties of cannabis become more and more accepted and useful, a lot of people, like, that's how we've won a lot of converts who used to be against cannabis, and then they saw it work for their dad or someone they loved or themselves, and they changed their mind about medical marijuana. So it's like progress. But I remember myself, in high school, was against pot and against drugs and against everything fun that teenagers did. I was very authoritarian, and my mind changed slowly over time, being introduced to cannabis and cannabis culture and pot TV way long ago. And I just have to remember that a lot of people are ignorant, but they need to be brought along and forgiven for their ignorances and like taught more, and their minds will change when they use cannabis. Like, if you are closed-minded and you use cannabis, the cannabis is going to open your mind, whether you want to or not. It's going to help you look at things in a different way. So it's almost like, as the medicinal values become more popular and people who hate cannabis start to like it for medical reasons, they'll start to use it for medical reasons to help them sleep at night, and they eat a brownie to go to bed, and then they wake up a better, more loving, more tolerant, more peaceful, relaxed person. And that's one of the side effects, is that it's like, that's what I'm hoping, like, all these prohibitionists, you go ahead and hate on it, but once we get inside your brain, you're going to be canna evangelist too.
Jeez, I just want to go to all of their houses, just bloop, bloop, bloop,
Try
bloop.
it.
There you go.
Right?
Shut up.
Legalize it, don't criticize it, as the saying goes.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
and I'll advertise it.
So since all of this madness that happened, this reefer madness that happened in March, you guys have basically, you had conditions where you had to stay.
Oh yeah, so not
and
allowed
go
to
to
talk.
court.
Can't
Not
talk to
allowed
our co-accused friends like Chris and Aaron and Brittany. Can't talk to them. I wasn't supposed to go to any dispensary. I still can't go to a dispensary, so I'm here at the studio and the media places instead, and can't possess illegal pot, all sorts of, whatever the rules are. So I'm behaving, I'm being good, and we're dealing with this in the court system. I was considering fighting it out for years, going to the Supreme Court of Canada, but that's very expensive, money we don't have, and it's kind of pointless to spend 5 years being on bail with conditions. Just to have a day in court in 5 years on a law that won't exist anymore, because it's CDSA, Controlled Drugs and Substances Act. That's what this is all now. It'll be the Cannabis Act, so a whole new law in 5 years will be ruling cannabis. So if I win in the Supreme Court of Canada, it doesn't matter, because it's a whole new set of laws to be challenged instead. So long story short, probably not going to be in court for too much longer, trying to find a resolution, as they say. So, not going to jail, hopefully, and all that. So, but that's yet to be resolved. So we'll see what happens. But part of my last few months have been very interesting in that, all my life since 2004, at least moving to Vancouver, I've been completely consumed by this place and this job, and Marc being in prison and court before that, and the media, everything it's like we live and breathe this building. If you don't work here, I don't know who you are, because it's all here in this organization.
It's true.
And that was all we ever knew. So being cut off from work entirely, you have to move to Toronto and you have to not go to work. You're not allowed to go to a cannabis culture. You can't do anything. Just sit and do nothing for a while.
Right.
And for me, it was wow, that was quite a transition for someone who was always on all the time. But it turned into being effective because Toronto is where a lot of the politicians and media and business and everything is. It's the big city. I thought Vancouver was a big city, but yeah, it's like a giant, that's the place to be. So I started getting more opportunities, going to events and speaking to politicians and meeting with media and doing national interviews a lot more often. And it started becoming a busy summer for me, actually. I did a lot of activism, and whenever things got a little too quiet, I would just write a letter to the prime minister, tweet about it, and get another interview or two. I would just do something. I hold a rally at City Hall, right? Anything and everything just to stir it up, which was valuable because while I was here before getting arrested, we were so busy working. We were just so busy, and it was getting very challenging to actually keep up with any sort of activism beyond the business side of things.
Right.
The business ultimately is an activist business,
You
but
were completely overwhelmed.
right. I didn't have time to write letters to politicians or go try and schedule a meeting or hold a rally at City Hall. I mean, I guess I could have, but anyway, Toronto has been valuable. I've been doing a lot of good work out there. There's a lot more still
Doing
to
the good
do.
fight out there.
Yeah, but I have come back here a couple times, every 2 months or so. I come back out to Vancouver, and this visit is my first time coming back to the headquarters, where I am assured that I can do my media work like this and be able to be here for this reason. So that's good. And yeah,
Well,
back
you fought
to
hard
back
for
to
that.
Yeah,
I'm sure that wasn't easy
oh
either.
man, it's been a long, slow process, and but it's all right. I'm patient. I'm grateful. Man, things could always be so much worse, and I think that's a great way to live, even though it sounds maybe not so great. Is to consider how bad things are elsewhere, and then consider yourself blessed.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that we have fresh running water to shower in, how lucky is that? We are fortunate. We're kind of we're in Canada. We're in Vancouver in Canada. That's a pretty awesome place to be on the planet if you're gonna
It's true.
be anywhere. So yeah, anytime I'm ever feeling down or upset or stressed out, and I'm like, you know what? It's all good. I'm still walking on two legs even. That's something to be grateful for. I can see, I can taste, I can talk. Thank goodness I can talk. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, if they really wanted
You
to.
are amazing. That was
If I
great.
couldn't talk, I'd be the fastest sign language person you'd ever see. I don't know. I don't know what I would
That
do.
was great.
Right? And that's
Well, we
why
love
I always joke about this.
when
I say,
you talk, though.
I say if the government wants me to shut up, just do the right thing, and I'll have nothing to say. So come on, for your benefit and mine. I'm tired of me too. Let's just do the right thing, and I can just shut up and go away.
You don't have. What are your plans basically for the next little while for Jodie? You have to go back.
Yep, going back to Toronto.
Over to Toronto.
And then I'm speaking at some different events. And then there's some interesting opportunities in the year ahead. I'm hoping to do some lobbying work too, working on something like that right now. I'd really like to see cannabis culture head shops and lounges still franchised out and about, if not dispensaries, then at least, locations for people to come together in the cannabis culture. That's important to me.
Well, that's what we do for a
going-
family.
But nobody has old school claim in my world for butter extracts than Butter King.
Yeah.
Back in, was it 2004 or 2005? It was actually 2004 because that's when Dakine was open. Holy smokes, when I first showed up in the city, Dakine was a cafe that sold weed. It was a dispensary, actually, now that I think about it. They sold weed there, didn't they? I'm pretty sure they did. And they had dabs. But it wasn't called dabs then. Nobody said dabbing, I don't think. There was just
don't know.
butter. And there
Yeah.
was these little butter
I think it was
torches.
Hoots or something.
Yeah.
Butter Hoots.
And then and there was
Yeah.
a hoot booth at the Toker's Bowl in 2005. I have photos of it. It was the butter bar booth or whatever, and Butter King was in there doing up these extracts on these customized little butter torches, and I know Tim and Dory and some other people will know exactly what I'm talking about. But that's old stuff, like 2004 and 5. How long ago was
Yeah.
that? I hate math, so I'm just gonna leave it up for you guys.
10 years, that's all I'm saying.
Decade plus.
Yeah, over a decade ago.
So that's like that. Who I consider the first extract I had seen, except for dry sift bubble hash or bubble hash
Yeah.
from the ice bags or
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah, that's classic, delicious. Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, I love my Butter King butter. Definitely gets me through the day.
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
No, I still
Especially
I
when
do.
I read all these crazy things that you go through, I'm just like, oh God,
Oh.
leave her alone.
Well,
Leave her alone. I tell ya.
I'm with that. I'm with you. Yeah, but it's I'm very interested to see how things go ahead. Like I keep thinking, oh, maybe this is when things start to calm down. I'm like, don't think that. That's tempting the universe to like really throw some stuff at you. So let's just say, yeah, I'm good with a bit of challenge, just not too much and just enough to,
Well, at least you have your somewhat freedom at the moment.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank freaking God, and I hope you get to keep it.
It's funny because like I know it's a cheesy joke and I've been saying it a lot, but I'm out on bail and I'm like, what does bail stand for? And it's like better than jail. So like you can either be in jail or out on bail, and man, bail's better than jail for sure. So that's what I'm out and about. I'm walking around. I'm very grateful to that and to my sister who's my surety. Thank you.
Thank goodness. Thank you for her. And I can't wait to party down with you this Friday. It's gonna be
Halloween.
fun.
Yay.
It's
Oh,
my
goody.
favorite month. So
Yes, October. Rocktober. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so lame. Why did I say
No,
that?
I love it. No, I love it. I love it. I
Oh,
love it. I love
such a
it.
dork.
That
Oh,
was
my
great. That
goodness.
was great.
But we are going to have fun.
We
It's going to be
are,
great
yeah.
to see so many people together, the community. Because that's also been lacking too. I have to say, like, as much fun as I've had in Toronto with the activism and all
We
that.
miss you
and
here.
Like, yeah, and Mark and I, we get along great and everything, and it's nice to be there. But I miss the community and the culture and the people. Like, that's really valuable. And that's why I recognize the value in dispensaries that are also lounges or just places where people can come together. Like when you don't have that and you smoke cannabis alone all the time, it's very different than being able to smoke and share with people. Like that communal experience is
lost in
so
your
valuable.
thoughts.
Yeah, and it can. So it's like
sure.
it's like drinking wine alone. Like, all right, do have it with your dinner when you're out solo one night or here or there, but every night all by yourself all the time. If you have the option to get out, share that time with other people. And so with the cannabis community being away from everybody, and like I said, not allowed to see our friends in Toronto anyway, so our entire team there we can't hang out with. We have no shops. We had nowhere to go. So coming here, it's very different and very nice to
must
see
warm the
everyone.
heart.
Yes, it changes things. It changes perspective because sometimes I'm like, man, do people care about us? Like, do I think I'm a big, like,
a lot of people.
are we
care about
actually
you
doing
guys.
something important? Like, is my head really big? Do I think we're like more helpful than we are? Like, I always start to question myself, but then I come and actually see the people and the employees and, like we said, saving lives and changing lives and how real that is. And then finally, like, being around that and feeling it, it's so validating and rewarding. It's like, okay, I don't need to worry. It's like, what was I worrying about? Of course, it's a massive deal and it's important to people. It's not just some frivolous thing that we're doing here. We're not just like all hanging out trying to get high. We're doing so much more. And sometimes I forget it because I'm just cut off from it. So anyway, it's so wonderful to be back. It's so valuable. I'm so glad to be here. So yay.
Well, thank you very much for being here
thank you
for
for having
me.
me.
And thank you for being so inspiring. Oh, you're so wonderful.
Beanie.
Yeah, I'm
Yay.
really glad to have this moment with you. And
thank
we
you.
got to smoke and we got to talk and
Yes.
let our
Catch
viewer-
up.
catch up and
And mustard. Sorry, I'm such a dork. I told you. Oh my god.
Well, on that
Seriously.
note, we are gonna get out of here, and I gotta go get my costume all ready.
Oh,
for
yes,
the
I know.
party on
I
Friday.
know it's coming up fast. Oh goodness. Okay,
Can't wait to party
excitement.
down.
Yay.
At the Monster Mash.
Ooh, yeah.
Anyways, thanks so much.
Thank you. Peace.
Ciao.
And that was my amazing interview with Jodie.
Yeah.
Wasn't that great?
That
you
was
guys?
awesome.
Yeah, so she just basically told us a little bit about basically what she and Mark have been going through the last little while, what cannabis culture has been going through. So it was really nice to get to sit with her and hear all that and just, have some giggles and some laughs. It was really nice. So
Yeah,
I hope you
Jodie's
guys
a
enjoyed
sweetheart.
that. She really is.
She's such a well-spoken lady too.
She is very well spoken.
Mhm.
She's so inspiring. And the party on Friday. Oh my God, what an awesome time. I'm so sorry that you guys missed it, but there will be more. I'm hoping that there'll be a Christmas party or something that you guys can come to.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
that will
for
be a lot of
sure.
fun. But yeah, I got to see Jodie and I got to see Marc at the Halloween party. So it was awesome to see Marc as well. Their costumes were awesome. She went as Dorothy and he was the
Scarecrow?
Scarecrow. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that
she'd
was
make a great Dorothy.
Oh, she was so cute, and
So
she had
cute.
these red satin shoes that she she spray painted with like glitter red.
Oh my
So
god,
and
yes.
they were already satin.
Oh my god, I
So
love
like
it.
they just looked
Crafty too.
perfect.
Look at her go.
Oh yeah. She was so cute. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. All the costumes were really cool. There was a lot of people in just like onesies, but I mean, whatever. It's still cool. I liked that. They were warm. They were comfortable.
Onesies are like a quick, easy go-to.
The older you get, you kind of start to get a little bit more comfortable. Like even
Yeah.
I used to go all out and like wear heels and all this stuff with my costumes. Now I'm like, okay, so how can I make sneakers work with this?
Right?
Like my schoolgirl outfit, I was like, I am not wearing heels. I'm wearing white sneakers.
You're so cute. I know. I used to go all out for Halloween, but now that I'm a makeup artist, it's the busiest day of the year for me. So I have to have like a super easy, quick costume that I can do at like
Right?
6:00 in the morning because I have no time.
So what's been the craziest, coolest out there makeup that you've had to do for Halloween?
I do a lot of zombies. And I've done some really cool elaborate sugar skulls with like crystals and stuff
Wow.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do a lot of skeletons and zombies.
Do you do a lot of like flesh, open flesh sort of kind of stuff? Has anyone
I've done
ever
like
asked
a
for
little
that
bit.
kind of
I've
stuff?
done some of the like cut open lips with the scars, like the
Oh, cool.
like,
Ooh, that would
flesh.
be really
Yeah.
cool.
That's
I
always
like
fun.
that. I want
Yeah.
to do something.
Zombies are a bit like that too.
I want to do something fun and spooky. I think next Halloween because I always go for something cute. I'm always like, I'm gonna be a sexy something.
Well,
That's
you're
just
adorable.
what I'm gonna
so-
do every year. So I kind of want to do something different. I want to be like scary or something, like actually scary. Like
You
my
could be
throat
sexy
slit
and
open,
scary.
like walking around with my throat slit open or something fucking super spooky.
That would be sweet. I would love to slit your
Right?
throat open
Just-
with makeup.
Yay! Oh my god, that sounded so hot. I don't know why.
You're hilarious.
I'm a
Oh,
freak.
that was warm.
But anyways, so yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah,
that'll be fun.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's what I'm gonna do next year. Please stop
Yeah,
calling and
shh.
messaging me on my show. That's my bad for not having my volume off though. So tonight is the Collective Scare. Super excited about that. Shoutouts to Fortune for hosting another amazing night. Shoutouts to MMJ for putting it on. Shoutouts to Craig X who will be hosting the event. And shoutouts to all of the sponsors. I know I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but I know Temple of Calyx, and that's all I know off the top of my head. But I know a lot of people from the community are going to be there. I'm really stoked to get my party on with all of my cannabis community peoples. I'm excited to see. Sorry?
I have the poster.
Oh, do you? Awesome. Are you posting it on there? Awesome. Great. So you guys can see on the poster all of the sponsors and stuff. So shout out to all of those guys. Super stoked to see Mercules perform live for my
Nice.
very first fucking time. Like, so excited.
Nice.
Excited to see my favorite band, Northwest Division, or group, I guess. They're not really a band, but Northwest Division, I swear I'm their biggest fan. Like,
Aw.
I say it every time. I just love them. Their music is so great. But yeah, I'm really stoked to get to see them live again. And I don't think I've ever seen Vinyl Richie, so that's going to be cool. And yeah, I'm just excited to
Nice.
party down with all my peeps.
Nice.
It's going to be fun.
That'll
Are you
be
guys
fun.
are you
Fortune's
guys
always a
coming
good
down?
time.
Lissa, Boss Lissa, are you going to this event? Probably. Maybe not. No. Just, bed sounds better, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I have another early makeup morning tomorrow, so
Right. And then your busiest day of the year
and then
is the day
Tuesday
after
is
that.
the
Yeah.
busy, like literally so
Cool.
insane.
Which I'm excited about because we here are having a party.
Yeah.
We're having a themed Halloween party. It's going to be a Playboy Bunny Hugh Hef theme. So I'm super excited. All the girls here are going to be little Playboy bunnies, and all the guys are going to be in their smoking jackets. I forgot Maggie was even there. Holy shit. So that's going to be super fun.
Yeah,
I know
that'll
you're
be
going to
fun.
be coming down for that.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
really
be coming
excited.
down once I
Party down with my
finish
girls.
doing all my skeletons.
Yeah.
I'll be here.
And then it's going to be closing up pretty early because we close shop at 8 because we want to go out to other Halloween parties. So I think
Oh yeah,
we're going to go down to the lounge or we're going to do something.
yeah.
We're going to do something for Halloween. It's going to be exciting.
I know.
Yay. Question. Is Rob Moore Cannabis cartoons in the chat? I want to say he is because he watches a lot of my shows and he's really cool.
I think that I saw that he said something earlier.
Okay, well, I want to give him a shout out. Even if he's not in the chat at the moment, because he's been showing me a lot of love. He's made me into a cartoon, which
I saw
is
that.
super
Very
cool. I've been featured in a few of them. And sorry.
It says hi.
Hi. I want to say thank you for the cartoons you've been making. They are absolutely amazing. They definitely make me smile. She looks just like me. It's just to the T. To the teats.
Perfect.
But yeah, so the most recent one that was just made, I think it's Hot
for Teacher.
Hot for Teacher, right? Yeah, I was gonna say Detention Hot for Teacher for some reason, but anyways.
They're in detention.
They are in detention.
Bad
Let's
boys.
play it for you guys. I know I did play it on the Wednesday show already, but I want to play it again on my show. I just want to say another big thank you to you, Robert Moore. It made my day. I was having quite a sad week, so that definitely lifted my spirits along with all of my awesome friends. So let's play it now. Yeah?
We're back! I brought my pencil! Give me something to write on, oh man, I think the clock is slow. I don't feel tardy. Oh wow, man. Wait a second, man. What do you think the teacher's gonna look like this year?
Hola, hola, everybody.
I'm the teacher. Class dismissed.
What a fun cartoon.
That was so cute.
Right? Wasn't it so cute? I love the long red nails too. It
Yes.
inspired me for my new set that I just got. I was like,
Gotta
what should I
match.
do? I was like, let's do red nails because of the cartoon. And I do love red nails. So yeah, thanks again for that. It was really, really cool.
Super cool.
I've been doing lots of modeling and some videography stuff, which has been really
Yeah.
fun. And of course, Ashley's been doing my makeup for absolutely every single thing that I do.
Aw.
We were actually just talking about this earlier about how, because I'm really new into this, how I will be doing shoots in the future. And unfortunately, sometimes Ashley's not going to be able to be there to be my makeup artist or my hairstylist. And she's like, it's going to be rough. And I was like, it is going to be rough. Like, you know, when you have, I'm lucky because not only is she like really, really, really good at what she does, she's also one of my
Aw.
really good friends. So it's like, it's not just like getting a friend to help you out and she's, you know, it's like, oh, thanks, you know, it's like,
We get to
she's
hang
like,
out.
we get to hang out, but like you're actually really, 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 really good. And you're
Aw,
very
thank
well
you.
known for your work. You're a published makeup artist. Your work has been in many magazines.
It's been in
So-
a couple, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, wow. I feel so blessed that I get to have my makeup done by you every
Aw.
single time for my
Thanks, girl.
shoots. So I hope the day never comes where I have to get my makeup
I
done.
always trying to
even
be
though it
available for
probably
you.
will. But yeah, so yeah, you guys, if you ever need a makeup artist, she's cannabis friendly, so that's huge.
Yep.
She's amazing. You're mobile.
I am.
That's
Yep. I can come
huge.
to you.
Yeah,
I also
she
have
will
a
come
home
to you.
studio too.
Yeah, her home studio is really, really sweet, really, really cute.
Also cannabis friendly.
Bring that weed. But yeah, so she's awesome. So big thank you to you for the calendar and all
You're
of your help in
so
it. You're the
welcome.
best partner. I couldn't have asked for anyone better. I can't
Aw,
wait to do many,
thanks.
many more years of calendars with you. Shout outs again to Carly Marley for doing this with me as well. Shout outs to Jamie Edgar for being the photographer and helping me put the calendar together. Thank you as well for helping that go through.
No worries.
And shout outs to Joe for letting me use
Yes.
all of the props. Like, he literally is to be thanked for
Oh,
that
yeah,
entire
he
calendar at the end of the day, because
has
without
an
that I would just be in front of a wall like
Hey.
hi. So seriously, Joe, I don't know if you're watching, but thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Appreciative.
Like, your collection of cars is amazing and super impressive.
And should be published by the Queen. So there you go.
yeah, fit for royalty,
Right?
to be just draped over.
Right? Just oh, here I am.
Just casually laying on this car.
Just my lingerie, no big deal.
yeah, just a Bel Air, whatever.
Yeah.
This is a Tuesday.
Yep, no big deal. Yeah, we had a lot of people staring at us in that parkade, like, what the fuck is going on
People are
here?
driving in circles around. Like, what are
I'm
you
just
doing?
like half naked, just draping like water. all
Oh yeah,
over just-
pouring the water. Yeah.
It was
Some
a good
hot
time.
photos
It
in
was a
there.
good time.
It
Yeah.
was a good time.
Make sure you get your calendar. 420 Wild Dragon. I can't even see the chat, but I know that you've probably said something about my calendar. Yes, I will be sending you some genuine Butter King butter and a calendar, and maybe all the other ones if you want them too. So don't worry, I haven't forgot about you. And your MMJ hat. I haven't forgot about that either. So yeah, stay tuned for some more Halloween fun tomorrow with Carly Marley. It's the day before Halloween. I'm sure there's going to be some costume fun on the 420 Lifestyle Show. Tuesdays is a day of rest. Cannabis needs a day of rest. So Tuesday is
true.
now the day of rest until someone else squeezes up in there. Wednesdays from Under the Influence with me, Marijuana Man, and Al the Alchemist. Hopefully he's still in town. I really hope he's not gone anywhere.
He's a busy man.
He's all over the place. Well, you
Mhm.
know, he's doing big things. I'm so proud of Al.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big ups to Al. That man is very, very, very good. He's a good friend. Thursdays, you've got Craig X on Expert Joints Live at Studio 710, which is super fun. Congratulations on that again. And Saturday, you have High Noon with Alyssa and all of her awesome friends down at the lounge, which is super fun to tune into if you like to get stoned and just hang out on a Saturday afternoon, drink your coffee. You know.
Yeah, it's a nice chill show.
It's a nice chill show.
Yeah.
It's really fun. We like that show a lot. And yeah, and then back to me. It's boring old me. Just kidding.
Oh, you're not boring.
Far from.
She's not boring.
Anyways, thanks for all of the love, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Halloween, and we will see you next week.
Thanks so much for having me, babe.
Of course, beautiful.
Bye, guys.
Ciao.